June is Audiobook Month. Join Viviana, the Enchantress of Books, and the Audiobook Lovin Series as she celebrates the authors and narrators who bring your favorite stories to life. Not only will this month be packed with exciting guest podcasts full of all things books, but stick around after each episode for some special information about this year's giveaway and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brennan Landry, and these are my top 5 reasons why I love being an audiobook narrator. Brought to you by Audiobook Lovin by Viviana, Enchantress of Books. Number 1. Closets. Do you like working in confined spaces? Do you have absolutely no problem with claustrophobia? Do you like sitting in a small, stale-aired room for hours on end with no contact with the outside world? Then maybe a career in audiobook narration is right for you. Number 2. Accents. There's something about finding a character's accent that really helps me kind of crack open who this guy is. You know what I mean? It's like if you find the character through the voice, which is really the only way that I get to communicate with my audience, then it really kind of opens up their personality, you know. Really kind of it shapes how they assert themselves on the story. It's like, how do I put this? If you can find the voice of the character, you can kind of tell if they lean back into the story or if they lean forward into the story. And really kind of shapes how they think. Don't know why that is. Just kind of tends to be how I approach things. Number 3. Storytelling. Obviously, in narration and audiobooks, we're telling stories. For as long as I can remember, I have been a storyteller. Some of my first memories are trying to invent a story to impress my parents. The fact that I get to actually do that for a living, and I get to help authors who have invented whole worlds and whole people bring those stories to life for people who want to hear them, is such an enormous gift. And I'm enormously grateful for that. I don't know why I'm putting this at number 3. It's probably the number 1 reason I want to be doing this. But let's just say these reasons are out of order, or in no particular order. Number 4, intimacy. I'm an actor, and I've performed on stage and on television. And there's something about this form of storytelling specifically that seems more intimate than any other medium. You literally get to be inside the audience's head. There's nothing separating the sound of my voice from the world that the audience is creating. And if you're trying to connect with an audience, which is truly the only reason why we are ever on stage or on film, I can't think of a better way to do it than to guide an individual audience member into the vast work of creating a world in which this story unfolds. And there's an enormous responsibility in that I love. Number 5. Books. I'm a bookworm. My entire house is filled with collections of books that I have been assembling since I was a little kid. I would regularly pretend to be sick so that I could stay home from school and read The Lord of the Rings in the 5th grade or other fantasy series throughout my time in elementary school and middle school and high school. And the fact that I get to wake up every day and dive into a book and I get paid to do it is one of the most incredible things in the world. It kind of does feel like everything has come full circle. I was always a voracious reader, and now I get to do that with my life. It's awesome. It's truly, truly awesome. And the only reason that gets to happen is because authors are out there inventing worlds and audiences are out there wanting to explore them. And the fact that I get to be a conduit between those two is really something special. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you inside another book sometime.
A special thank you to authors DJ Krimmer, Tana Stone, Landon Beach, PJ Fiala, and all of our sponsors of the Audiobook Lovin 2023 series.
Visit today's episode post to listen to sound clips of some of the books we discussed and enter the month-long giveaway. If you enjoyed the Audiobook Lovin podcast series and you want more, join the Audiobook Lovin podcast Patreon for early access to podcasts, exclusive content like the Would You Rather game and dinner party guests, and additional incentives such as bloopers, graphics, and much more. Support the podcast by becoming a Patreon at www.patreon.com/audiobooklovin. Thank you for joining Viviana and her guests for this podcast, and we hope you tune in again as we continue to celebrate Audiobook Month. The Audiobook Lovin Series is hosted by Viviana, the Enchantress of Books. Please make sure to visit the main page linked within the post to learn more about the entire Audiobook Lovin Series and the enchanting author and narrator guests who have joined us over the years. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review wherever you listened, and please follow us on social media platforms and subscribe to the Viviana, the Enchantress of Books newsletter. Until next time, happy listening. Audiobook Lovin hopes you have enjoyed this program.